Hi, I'm Davita, and I dare you to trust. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about 5 signs you're ready. So, you might say, 5 signs you're ready for what? We're talking about change. So, these are 5 signs you're ready for change, or 5 signs you're in the change, and life is bringing it to you regardless. Kicking and screaming, things are changing. So let's talk about it. Number one. So, number one, the first sign is things just don't feel the same. They don't resonate the way they used to. Things aren't fun anymore. And these things could be a number of things. It could be your job, it could be relationships, it could be activities, it could be anything. But something is different, something is off, and you can feel it. And this happened to me at one point where I was working someplace, and when I walked in there just one day, it just didn't feel the same. It felt old as I was in there. And it was like, my mind was like, next, what is next? And so that's how that came up for me in one of my situations, and it might come up for you. But that's number one. Things just don't feel the same. Okay, number two, seemingly untimely events happen. Now, this could be you lose your job, or your car could die. You might have to have some work done in your house, but just events that are like, oh my gosh, why now? And it seems so random. Or it could be a health issue might come out of nowhere, but just things just happen one after the other, and it's just thrown at you, and it could feel almost curse-like, Job, like Job in the Bible. It could feel something like that, like things just happening to you out of nowhere. And so this happened to me more times than I would like to mention, but it happens in that way. I remember I moved to another state. I was working, and then I was dismissed from that job. I had never ever been dismissed from a job before. I've always left a job because I found another one, a better one. I was dismissed from the job, no reasons, just straight out of the blue. And I could not actually get another one. Like, it was so hard to get another job. And then other things happened. I had huge expenses. Just one thing after the other happened. Okay. Number three, everything starts to get on your nerves. Like, you're just agitated, you're irked. People, things, places just irritate you. And no wonder why. Look at the other things that just happened to you, right? You're stressed, you're under pressure. You feel like, what the hell is going on? So everything gets on your nerves, everything and maybe everyone. Number four, this is what I call the bump it stage, where all these other things have happened, and it's like you're in a pressure cooker, and you're like, you know what? Bump it. I don't even care what happens. Bump it. Bump her, bump him, no, not you. You and your mother, bump it. This is the bump it stage, because everything else has happened, and your mind is trying to sort this out, and it's sensory overload. So this is that bump it stage, and that's number four. And then finally we reach number five, and this is the surrender stage, where you've kind of given up on trying, because you can't get out of these situations and circumstances. They keep being thrown at you, and it's like, you know what? I surrender. I surrender to whatever is going on. And at that point, you might think, wait a minute, there's something deeper might be going on here. And that's the surrender stage. That's number five. Okay, so we have things just don't feel the same. Untimely events happen just randomly. Then everything and everyone gets on our nerves. Then bump everybody and everything. And then surrender is the last one. And things can feel just like this, but guarantee if this happens to you, if change happens to you in this way, guarantee that life has tried to tell you to change before, or bring about a little bit of change, or give you a little inkling of what's going on to see if you will change yourself first. But if it's come to this point, I guarantee that life has tried to say something before this point. And so at this point, life is trying to get our attention. Like, come on. I know you prayed for this. I know you asked for this change. I know it doesn't look like how you expected, but things are moving. Let's get going. And so life tries to get our attention with all of these things happening. So once we have surrendered, then clarity might set in a little bit to say, hey, something's going on. Let's see what this is. What have I asked for? Maybe this is change happening for the better. Maybe this is what it is. And so there's a behavior change theoretical standard called the trans-theoretical behavior change model, right? And there's 5 or 6 stages in that. And one of the stages is preparation, right? So in that stage, we're preparing for change. And so a lot of times we don't know what, or expect that we have to prepare for the change that we've asked for, or prepare for the change that life is bringing us. So if I, lose my job, maybe it's because I asked for a better one. When we think about it logically, like, oh yeah, maybe that could be it. But when we're in it, when we're in that change, we're in that process, when we're in all the things that are going on, we might not think about that, right? Because it's, okay, what am I going to do for a job if I lost that one? But like they say, when one door closes, another one opens. And that's how it happens. So it might be setting us up for the come up that we were asking for and that we're praying for and hoping for. So just before that preparation stage is that contemplation stage where we're a little ambivalent. I don't know if I want to change. I don't know if I need to change, right? And probably things have happened to come into our mind, to come to our lives that maybe we do need to change, but it hasn't been enough pressure to happen to us to actually make that change. So then we move to that next step. We're upgraded. Our change is escalated, right? And so now we're forced to make changes. We're really forced to really think about what's next for us. And then after the contemplation stage, and we move to that preparation stage, where we're in right now with all these things happening, then after that is the action stage. So all of this preparation, all these things happening is happening so that we can take action. So we can take an assessment on what's going on and say, okay, well, where do I want to go from here? Now, this is a very, very important time right here in this stage, because we can choose to make the appropriate changes for our lives, what we've been really asking for, that upgrade, right? Or we can kind of be timid and fall back into patterns that we might not have worked through yet. And let's stay on the example of the job and find a job that's almost exactly the same, just because it's comfortable and it's familiar and we know what it entails. But just a little while ago, we were praying for a different job because of these things that were wrong with it, or these things that we didn't like about it, or those things that we have grown out of our job. And so it's kind of like we're in, if kids go to preschool or pre-K or kindergarten, and, they do the same thing. They have fun and they go over their alphabet and they learn foundational things. But what if they stay in kindergarten year after year after year, when we're really supposed to progress, right? And so this change has come about because we're supposed to be in fourth grade, but we're still in kindergarten because it's safe, it's comfortable, right? But then all these kindergartners that are younger than us are getting on our nerves, and they're hitting us with blocks, right? It's uncomfortable. And then we feel constrained. We feel like, wait a minute, what's going on? Maybe I do need to change. Oh, and we stand up and we're much taller than other kindergartners, and we realize, wait a minute, okay, it's time to move on. This doesn't feel comfortable anymore. I need to expand beyond kindergarten. Let me move beyond kindergarten and see what it's like out there. And so it's kind of how the change happens. And after the surrender part, we begin to think about things and analyze and say, okay, well, maybe I do need to move on. And so this is a very, very critical part of, where do I move on to? Where do I go from here? And like I mentioned, not falling back into patterns that kept us in kindergarten, right? So this is a very important part here, where if you can work this out yourself and you have that analytical mind and you can really feel your way through, because it's really about feeling what feels right, not really what makes sense all the time. It's really what feels right, and really having that mind-heart connection to feel your way through the situation, feel your way through the change. So if you're that type of person, yes, feel your way through, and you cannot go wrong. You can never go wrong. Trust your instincts, trust yourself, trust your intuition. However, if you're not that type of person, this is your opportunity to reach out to someone for help, for coaching, for some guidance in this. Reach out to someone who's been through it, family and friends, or someone who's been through it. Or I'm available, I'm here, I'm a coach. I actually help people work through that change, those life transitions. And if you find yourself in this situation, this is a key, critical time to reach out to someone so that you move beyond that limited stage, right? And so when you move to the other side and you look, you can exhale and say that this feels better, instead of saying, wait a minute, this feels familiar, the exact same way I felt before. Dang it. I fell back into a pattern that I didn't quite work through. And maybe I should have dreamt bigger. I should have dared to trust myself, right? So that is very, very, it's a powerful, powerful thing in our lives, change. And it's there for a reason. It's there to push us. It's there to help us grow up and expand into who we are to be and why we are here. If you find yourself in any of these 5 signs, congratulations. You are changing. And so this is exciting for change to happen. And so the big thing is to recognize that that's what could be going on, and to, like I said before, feel your way through it, and or reach out to someone who can help you through that change. And so look forward to bigger and better things, because this is what we asked for, these changes. And so this is what we want to happen in our lives, right? We want things to change. Things are constant. Things are going to change whether we want it or not, really. But we want to know how to flow with the change, right? And flow with that transition, so we come out on the other side transformed, right? We've been through a transformation. We're that butterfly that's emerged from that cocoon, where we felt limited in one situation, but then feel more free in another situation. So those are the 5 things, 5 signs that you're ready for change, or change is ready for you, because it's coming. All right. So if you enjoyed this video or this content, please like, subscribe to my channel, or share the video with someone who you know is going through something like this or would enjoy this content. Thank you for coming to my channel. See you next time. Hey, I almost forgot. If you have been through any of these signs or stages, please leave a comment below and let me know how it's worked out for you, or what it looked like for you and how it was. Yeah, definitely leave some comments below, or also leave a comment and let me know what you would like for me to talk about. What else you'd like for me to talk about concerning behavior change or any other topic on this channel. Okay, so now you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. All right, thank you for coming to see me. I dare to trust. I dare you to trust. And I'll see you next time.